Hey, everybody. I'm Dave Graber. Thanks for joining us for Buffalo Brief. Solo today, and then Kelsey will be back in on Wednesday. We actually have a pre-tape show that we are airing tomorrow. It is on homelessness in the Buffalo area, and in particular, what groups do on very cold nights, like we are expecting to have over the next couple of nights after some moderate temperatures. It is a really important one because we go out with a couple of volunteers in the Code Blue program who go out and do safety checks on some of the people who are unhoused in our area. It is a really good one. Just the conversations surrounding the challenges and the successes, quite frankly, of that program, and how people that you don't even realize are helping to keep people alive, not only safe, but keep them alive in our community. And this kind of thing happens just every night. So Kelsey and I thought that it was an important thing to go out and tell that story. So look forward to that one tomorrow. Coming up a little bit later in this episode, we're going to welcome in Adam Duke from Buffalo Jukebox. Adam keeps hitting it out of the park when it comes to some of these interviews that he's getting. A couple that are coming up, Chubby Checker, some legends and things like that. And speaking of legends, musically, he also has spoken with John Legend. John Legend will be taking the stage at Shays Buffalo on April 22nd. Tickets are on sale right now. And in fact, Adam Duke has his story up with all of the corresponding information and a sit-down one-on-one with John Legend. Again, you can find that on our website, WIVB.com. That'll be our second half of this episode here on Buffalo Brief. But first, how about a quick wrap-up of the weekend? I want to go over what we all did yesterday. Hopefully, everybody got a chance to at least see some of the game yesterday. What pride, man. What a game from beginning to end. The pace was absolutely frenetic. It is what you wanted in an Olympic gold medal game. I mean, these Olympics have been fantastic. I think we all have paid enough attention to kind of follow the storyline, the dominance of women's hockey, and of course around here in Western New York, the sort of local connection in Haley Skimura. We hope to be setting up an interview with her sometime soon. We are working on it, I promise you. We definitely want to hear from her. But the dominance of women's hockey and then just the straight up great play of the men's team on the other side of the rink, playing lights out all throughout this tournament. And it boiled down to U.S. Canada for the gold medal game. And of course, it goes into sudden death OT. What an opportunity for the U.S. What an opportunity really for the game in and of itself. I mean, there are times like that, games like that, where while you're watching it, you kind of realize this one's special. And it really felt like it yesterday. 46 years to the day of the Miracle on Ice. Of course, the last time the U.S. won was the Miracle on Ice in 1980. All the stars were sort of aligning, I think, for the U.S. But kudos to Canada for a great game. They were without Sidney Crosby. That is a huge loss for them. The game may have turned out differently had he been able to suit up. He wasn't able to, so a factor there. But the U.S. took advantage and played hard-nosed, gritty, in-your-face hockey. It was good. I was texting our producer, Eric. You heard us talk about our 5 and 5:30 producers, big hockey guy. And I don't know. I think I was texting him just to sort of make myself feel better because the pace was so frenetic that kind of added to the anxiety. But man, what a great finish. And, of course, you get Jack Hughes, who a couple of minutes before scoring the game-winning goal gets hit in the face, knocks his teeth out. I mean, when you think about it, that goal cost him about a tooth and a half, which I suppose in hockey parlance and when you're talking about a gold medal Olympic game, I think that is totally worth it. He probably would say the same. And I think the smile that was on his face throughout all of that. I mean, look at that, man. Just still bloody teeth and lips and half a tooth missing. And a smile that will never quit, draped with the American flag. You can't ask for it any better. It was fantastic. And I hope that you get that same kind of excitement that kind of boils over the next couple of days, because hockey is back, folks, on Wednesday. And let's hope that the Sabres can keep that momentum going. It was just a fantastic day yesterday. Interesting enough, just sort of a little peek behind my curtain. I try to get like a long run in on one of the weekend days, either a Saturday or a Sunday. Wasn't able to do it Saturday, so I did it Sunday. And I kind of thought, I want to do it in the morning just because I like to run in the morning better than anything. It was snowing, and I thought people would be watching the game, and so I kind of figured out a way to take my phone, because I don't really run with my phone anymore. I just run with my watch. But I wanted to listen to the game, so I was able to put it like on Spectrum, just like strap it to my body, and then I was able to run and listen to the first two periods, which was fantastic. But I have to say, even beyond the game, and being able to listen to the game and the excitement and hearing that, and it being a distraction when you're running, it was such a beautiful day on Sunday. If you were perhaps one of the people who I saw out there, kudos. It was just a really nice, peaceful run in the snow. Not a lot of people out on the road because of the game. And I was able to finish and then watch the final period with a nice hot cup of coffee. And it was perfect. It was a perfect Sunday, made even better by, first of all, that save by Connor Hellebuck and big win by U.S. men's. Speaking of running, I want to also spend some time. We spent some time previewing the event, but I want to now switch over to the Mayville Winterfest because that is now in the rear view. We talked about it a lot coming up in advance of the launch of the February 13th, 14th, and 15th. Here is a preview story that our Chris Broadbent and Sarah Minkowitz did when the volunteers were building the ice castle. The weather could not have been better this year. Actually, the weather could not have been better this year, both leading up to and during the event. First of all, picture from me there. It was so cold leading up to it. The ice harvest was perhaps the best they've had in many, many years. The castle itself was expansive, bigger than they've been able to ever really do it. And you can see there just the amount of help that it took to get these individual blocks. Remember, these things are like 800 to 1,500 pounds a piece. Just an incredible feat there. You love to see what was able to happen with this Winterfest leading up. You know that there was a lot of discussion around it. And so we went down. We have a home down in Mayville that's close. And I guess I wanted to bridge the sort of running on Sunday yesterday with the Mayville running, because there was also a 5K on Sunday, the 15th. I was able to participate in that. It was a smaller race. We only had 60 or so participants, I think. But I got the soap for winning my age. My age was 46 to 49. That is my age bracket now. But I was first in my age, 7th overall. Really fun race, a really nice weekend. But to kind of talk a little bit more about that race, it was enough people that it was kind of cozy, and it was challenging enough for a 5K. You go up the hill into Mayville off of Route 430, and I was not anticipating. I was feeling really good up until I hit that hill, and that was a little bit rough. But let's talk a little bit more about the weekend. First of all, our home is somewhat close to Lakeside Park, which is great if you don't mind the sort of traffic. We go down there occasionally in the winter, and it's pretty barren down there these days. There's stuff to do, but not as much stuff to do. But between the volunteers who helped out, the people who led this effort, Serena Gilkinson, we talked with her. She was really the chairperson of Winterfest. Rick Seiper, the mayor of Mayville, all of the folks who were on this committee, all of the volunteers who showed up, their efforts created one of the best Winterfests that have ever happened in the history of this event. And by the way, 39 years old. Next year is the 40th anniversary of Winterfest. And it is going to be bigger and better than ever. We hope the weather cooperates. Really cool drone footage there. This is from Jeremy Lesh Reggie. I apologize, Jeremy, if I'm butchering that name, but really cool drone footage that we were able to see there. I wanted Dan to pull that. Just a really cool, great way to capture, I think, just that evening. First of all, I'll go back to talk a little bit about people were descending on Mayville for this. The castle was in perfect shape, and then the weather kind of warmed up, and really it was sunny on that Saturday, and even sunnier and warmer on that Sunday. So people were just mobbing this little town, and I mean, you see there the big bonfire and all the people around and the kids, and this was Saturday night, so kind of the final night, if you will. They still participated and did things on Sunday, but the fireworks and all the stuff That was on Saturday. It was just, they did such a good job. I don't even know what more to say other than just kind of bravo. But what I did was I went into the Facebook page and I saw some of the reactions from some of the folks who went, and this is a perfect reaction. And so I did want to read it if we have a little bit of time here. This is from Tia Nowak, and I think she said it perfectly. She, interestingly enough, because the weather was so mild, and because of safety reasons, they knocked the castle down on Monday after the Winterfest was over. Everybody was gone and things like that. We were still at our house. We could see them knocking it down. And so they had to come on the Facebook page and say, hey, we had to knock this down because of the warmer weather and safety and things like that. This was the first comment that I saw, and it captures perfectly what happened. This is from Tia Nowak, and she says, we stayed the whole weekend in Mayville for the festival. Not only was the ice castle built to perfection, but whoever organized and promoted this event did a wonderful job. I literally saw the festival advertised everywhere I looked, including our out-of-town news stations. It was wonderfully done to bring in good local businesses, lots of out-of-town tourists. We went to a few restaurants and stores during the day in Mayville, and even though they were all swamped with crowds, the waiters and waitresses and cashiers did a phenomenal job of being super friendly, accommodating, and welcoming despite the overwhelming amount of customers they were getting. Special shout out to all the staff at Bellini's Lounge. It was refreshing to see everyone doing their job so well with smiles on their faces, even being extremely busy. Kudos, Mayville, for capitalizing on making good business and for all your friendly workers that led us to have an amazing weekend. I could not have said it better myself. Thank you, Tia Nowak, for commenting, and thank you for capturing, I think, what so many of us are feeling in the wake of that incredible event. Excellent, excellent job to all the people who participated. Cannot wait till next year, the 40th. Guarantee you will see its preview right here somewhere on Channel 4, maybe on Buffalo Brief, maybe elsewhere. But we thank you for joining us. We're going to go a quick break, and then we're going to welcome in Adam Duke from Buffalo Jukebox to talk about his interview with John Legend, who was taking the stage at Shea's Buffalo on April 22nd. Details right after this. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Let's now get right to our Adam Duke, Buffalo Jukebox, to talk a little bit about an interview. Adam, you get fantastic interviews, and I swear each time you come in, it's a better person or more famous or more well-known than the last or more talented than the last. This one is a pretty good one. John Legend will be performing on the Shea's Buffalo stage April 22nd, and you managed to get a hold of him ahead of that. That's a good get, buddy.
Thank you.
It's good get. All right, so talk to us a little bit about that. Maybe that process of securing those interviews. I mean, you're one of many that he does, but at the same time, you get to ask your own questions. How does that process work, first of all?
Yeah, so it's one of two things. Either an artist will reach out to me and say, hey, their publicist will reach out to me and say, hey, this artist is coming to town. Would you like to speak with them? Or in this case with John Legend, I reached out to him and I said, hey, I see John Legend is coming to Shea's. Is he going to be available? And he was. So yeah, I got to speak with him.
Really good one, too. It's a preview, I think, in this case, because it's not just him singing. It's songs and stories. Can you talk a little bit about this tour?
Yeah, so it is the Songs and Stories tour. His last tour he did with a big band, and it was more of like a spectacle, more of a performance. This one, he said, is much more intimate. It's just him and the piano, and he tells him stories, and he actually told me about one of the stories he's going to do. So yeah, it's much more, it's smaller, it's just him. So
it's a little more intimate, like you said.
Yeah.
You mentioned that he was talking about one of the stories that he intends to tell. I imagine it's probably an hour and a half, 2 hours of a performance wise.
I would guess probably 2. Yeah. I think he's probably got he's got a decent catalog. So
yeah, I imagine.
I'd imagine it'd go 2. Yeah.
What were some of the stories that he gave you as an example for one?
First, actually, he did talk about how he's excited to get back to Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
It's first time since 2005 he'll be here.
Wow.
And I asked him if he remembered anything from the last time he was here, and he kind of laughed, and he was like, 21 years ago? But, yeah, so there's actually sound of him talking about that, Dan.
Of him talking about being in Buffalo?
Yes.
Awesome.
About his return.
So the last time John Legend was in Buffalo, 21 years ago. I imagine at the time, as Dan is grabbing that sound and getting it queued up at him, at the time, 21 years ago in 2005, he was still performing with his band, but a solo artist, right?
Yeah,
Without question.
And, you know, he'd already, I believe at the time, released "Ordinary People." He'd already had some big hits already, but like ever since then, even he's grown so much more, like as an artist, and massive artist now. So yeah,
Tremendously. So the last time he was in Buffalo, this is what John Legend had to say about it.
Well, this show is really all about really getting to know me in a much more intimate way. This is like the purest, most authentic version of me. It's just me on the piano. I do a lot of songs from throughout my career, but also tell a lot of stories. The stories that kind of made me who I am as an artist, as a musician, as a person, and I find that a lot of my fans really love this show, maybe more than any other show that I do, because it's so pure and it's so unique when you think about the other shows that you can go see for an artist, and unique relative to the other shows that I would do myself. You know, we just finished the Get Lifted 20 tour, full band, much more of a party, which was a lot of fun too. But this is the most pure, the most authentic, the most intimate version of me as an artist, and I really enjoy doing the show, and I think a lot of my fans enjoy it too.
Very cool. I mean, you would think that if you are a fan of John Legend, let's say you sort of grew up with him and listened to his music, I don't know, it sounds like maybe he has launched a similar tour like this, or maybe he's just talking about this specific tour that his fans are really loving. But no doubt, if anybody, whether it's John Legend or whoever your favorite artist is, if it was just them playing like one instrument and then telling stories about, gosh, I mean, you would learn so much, right?
Yeah. And so the one thing he did tell me about for Black History Month when he was 15, which I also didn't know, and in my research leading up to this interview, found out he graduated high school 2 years early.
Yeah.
So very smart guy. He went to Penn, but one of the stories he told was he was 15. He wrote an essay for Black History Month about how he would make Black history, and basically he said he wanted to become a successful recording artist and use his platform to help his community. And that dream came true, obviously. So.
That is absolutely what he has done. The breadth of his career. I mean, just the fact that we're saying he was in Buffalo last in 2005, and that was more than 2 decades ago, and his career spans such an extended period, and he's kind of grown almost the entire time as well, right? I mean, these I say crooners, these singers, I feel like as they get older, they almost get better. Like this guy is, I don't know it. When has he found his stride? For the past 3 decades? Like, it's just amazing.
It's fantastic. Yeah, but I also brought sound on him speaking about the essay for Black History Month.
Oh, let's hear that.
All these things I wanted for myself and aspired to, I pretty much am doing them, and I felt so moved by that and grateful for that, that I've been able to live my dreams. And you know, if I were to talk to my 15-year-old self, I guess I would say, keep doing what you're doing because it's going to work out the way you want it to. But, you know, there's all kinds of ups and downs that you're going to face in that path.
Yeah, no doubt. Very cool. Yeah. Did he expand on any of that as well? Any more of that?
Yeah, I think he talked about just like his how he, there's a lot of ups and downs to it. Like he said, it's not just being successful, right? His dream is always to be successful. But I asked him, if you could talk to yourself at 15, what would you say? And he said, you know, you're going to live your dream. Don't think it's all going to be easy. But yeah. And so that's kind of what he said was just everything he's done to get to where he's at now and all the hard work he's put in.
It would be cool. I mean, it's a fun exercise to think back. Like, what would you tell yourself at 15? And you know, obviously life happens, right? I mean, it goes up and down, and his career is no different from perhaps other people of his caliber. You know, ups and downs, challenges, but the way that he's faced them obviously has been really important. We noticed in that Zoom interview that you were doing with him, he has a bunch of awards in the background. Those are one of his many awards because he is one of very few people to be what?
An EGOT, which is Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. There are 22 of them. Most recently, I believe February 1st, Steven Spielberg secured the Grammy, locking in the EGOT. He's the second ever winner from Ohio, with John Legend being the first ever
Nice.
EGOT recipient from Ohio. And yeah, Legend was very proud of Spielberg and his Ohio pride. And I asked him, who would you like to see next? And he said Common, who he has collaborated with, won an Oscar with. And he said Cynthia Erivo, who he has also collaborated with in the past. She is an Oscar away. Common is a Tony away. A lot of other people, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Hugh Jackman, Julie Andrews, John Batiste, Adele, Eminem, if he ever gets into musical theater.
Right.
All of them are one letter away from the EGOT. So yeah, he spoke about that as well.
All right, let's see what he said about that.
I would love to see Cynthia cross over into EGOT land. And then my brother Common is only one letter away, I believe, as well. And we won an Oscar together. So I think he only needs a Tony now. So hopefully we'll get him across the threshold too. He's dating an EGOT right now in Jennifer Hudson.
So he won an Oscar with Common, because that's what I was like, wait a minute, who did he win in? So what was that Oscar for?
It was for best. It was a soundtrack related Oscar. It was like best original song in a film, I believe.
In a film.
Yeah.
Got it. That's really incredible. That's really incredible. I mean, where does he go? I mean, what is this like, if you were to say, like, is this not the sunset of his career? Because here we're talking about, and actually this is kind of funny. Adam and I were talking as we were coming on. I said, are you going to go to the performance on the 22nd? And you said,
we'll see. Barry
because
Manilow also in town that night.
So I guess what I'm trying to get at is two very different people. And your difficulty, your challenge is, well, am I ever going to be able to see Barry Manilow?
Right.
Or am I going to be able to see John Legend again? Of course, has he ever done this Songs and Stories tour before? Or is this just, as far as you know,
He's
just
done
this year?
very like intimate, like one-on-one, no backing band type tours before. As far as his storytelling goes, and that was what he told me too, is what he takes pride in. I asked him, if you had to give up piano or you had to give up song or singing, which would you give up?
Yeah.
And he said he would prefer to keep singing, but he also said there's a third element, and that's his songwriting, storytelling, to his artistry. Yeah, so I think the storytelling is a big aspect of this tour as well. And yeah, and as far as his accomplishments go, I joked with him, like you say, he's done it all. He has.
Yeah.
Like he won Sexiest Man Alive for People Magazine a couple years ago.
And that too,
only he got to do that. Hugh Jackman is close.
Yeah,
but
right.
As of right now, he's the only. I joked with him about that, and he thought that was funny. But yeah.
I mean, it's got to be really cool to hear him, because I think he's one of those guys that has a voice that is so incredibly pure and unique to him. Like, with that first note that comes out of John Legend's mouth, that it's kind of him. He just has that sort of tone that is so unique to him, but very good. I feel like seeing that type of a concert where it's just him and a single instrument, you really get to not only appreciate him and his ability to perform, because when you're by yourself, it's different than when you have a band or when you have other people, of course. Right. But so his ability to singularly capture an audience, but also his abilities boiled down to like the bar none, right? A voice and a piano.
Right.
No help, no nothing.
Right.
Just being able to do it. I feel like that's a really unique opportunity with him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, like all the stories, him being such a smart guy.
Yeah.
Like, and this expansive career he can talk about and his whole journey.
So, all right. So you wrote this, the story that Dan just put up. Thank you, Dan. That's on our website right now, WIVB.com. And you've got a bunch of stuff on there I can see. So tickets go on sale. Is that as in this Friday?
Tickets go on sale.
This was January 21st. My apologies. So
this was an older article. Yeah. I this morning published an updated version of this.
Got it.
But tickets are on sale now, yes.
Good. So tickets are on sale now. The one that people can see, and Dan is like going through. So there's tickets left, and that's a great job, Dan. Good idea there to see how much is left. There's a lot of seats left, and a lot of good seats as well left. I don't know, Dan, are you able to click on maybe one of those to see how much they are? Let's say on either close to the stage or something. I don't know what it says. I don't know if they pop up if you click on like one of those seats. Let's see if we can do that. We're doing this kind of on the fly, folks, so bear with us. I am curious. Do you know what the tickets are? What the costs are?
I'm not sure.
So here we go. In the balcony, looking like, see what it says. Pretty good. Is it not popping up? It may not want to cooperate with us for our purposes. We'll have to see what that is. Either way, if you go to our website right now, wivb.com, you'll find your story that is corresponding with this interview.
Yes, I have the link to tickets in both the original story and the story, including the interview, right now.
There we go. Okay, so a ticket in the balcony will cost you about $120 or so. Pretty good for, again, an intimate night. And what a setting, man. I mean, This could be anywhere. It's different if this was at KeyBank versus being at Shays.
Completely agree. Because Shays is such a great venue to see a show. It's just like, it's regardless of the fact that he's doing purposefully an intimate tour, Shays is already an intimate venue for that. It's just, no matter who I saw Alice Cooper there a couple years ago. Amazing. Great
Alice
venue.
Cooper at Shays.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
That's cool. That's almost kind of a juxtaposition sort of his style, but not the person, because he, like John Legend, also a genius, right? I mean, he is wickedly smart.
Yes.
Known for that.
So I always think it's quite, and David Byrne was there last year.
Nice.
And it's very much a place for artists, and John Legend absolutely fits that mark. So
that's a great point. I really like hearing that. All right, so April 22nd down at Shays. Tickets still available. This interview, do you have that on for Buffalo Jukebox?
Yes,
is
it's
it
on
the full thing?
Full thing is on.
Full thing,
Yep.
Fantastic. All right, so that is up with that. Is that linked with the story as well?
Everything's linked in there. Yeah.
Everything is linked with the story. Fantastic. Okay, cool. What else do you have on your horizon? Because I know you got a couple of things coming up. Let's talk about the next time that you're going to be appearing on Buffalo Brief.
Yeah, so I got 2 interviews in the next couple of days. Chubby Checker, Mickey Dolenz.
Nice.
Some old timers. Yeah, same kind of vibe though. Kind of just like easy listening. Those will be fun. I interviewed this morning. The band's name is Eye Opener. They're a rock band from Buffalo.
Very cool.
And then last week, Jen Carless of the band Not Normal. They're doing a benefit show for people who lost instruments and equipment in the flooding a couple weeks ago in Black Rock. So.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Adam. We have more information about that on our website, wivb.com. There was a couple of weeks ago a major water main break right at the corner of Military and Hurdle, and it quickly, it was a 36-inch, a 3-foot wide water main that came apart and broke, and it immediately flooded entire neighborhoods, entire blocks here in North Buffalo, not too far away from the station. And among the people who had to get rescued by the fire department, they literally had to get their inflatable rafts to get these people out of their homes, was a band that was just practicing. And we actually have that story on our website. They were practicing. They literally said the water started coming in under the door. They tried to put towels under there to stop it. And before they knew it, they were in waist deep water. So really cool to know that there are some local bands, because they lost everything in that, right?
Yeah, so that band, in addition to a lot of other bands who had their equipment in that practice space.
They did. Interesting.
A lot. And so Not Normal and a bunch of other people are going to be playing at Hot Mama's Canteen on the 28th to help the recovery at the effort. I believe there's also a GoFundMe, and Music is Art does an ongoing instrument drive, and they're kind of directing their efforts toward that as well. So.
Nice. Okay, great. So again, that is February 28th. That's a Saturday, right? Is that a Saturday?
Saturday.
I think it's a Saturday.
Yes, it's this Saturday.
Okay, so this Saturday is the benefit again. Where is it?
Yeah, it is at Hot Mama's Canteen.
Hot Mama's Canteen. Again, we've got more information on our website, wivb.com. All right, Adam, excellent job again. We appreciate it. This is a fantastic interview, so kudos. Get to that. Again, if you need more information, check out Adam's article on our website, wivb.com. For Adam Duke, I'm Dave Graber. Thanks for joining us for Buffalo Brief. We'll see you tomorrow.